Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia from the Red Spangle channel. I know sometimes I be a little inconsistent, blah 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 blah, like I always say. Y'all already know why I'm here. Y'all already know why the fuck y'all here. I'm not gonna waste any time. Y'all already know that I've been saying that I've been supposed to make a Degrassi 13 analyzing video back when I was rewatching the show, which was like fucking months ago when I finished watching Degrassi season 13. Pretty much when I was doing the reviews, I was kind of rewatching the show for real. And, you know, Degrassi season 13 really isn't that bad of a season. For the motherfuckers who grew up in the 2010s like myself, who, me personally never was someone who shit on season 13. Me, honestly, the show could have ended there if you ask me. When I say end, I mean more like, I can't really explain it for real. Like, I don't think Degrassi needed a 14th season. Especially if you're going to do a 14th season of a show, I definitely feel like Degrassi being on for so long might be why season 14 was not the best season. It was convoluted, storylines was everywhere, pacing was not the best. Like, the only good thing to come from that season, the only two good things to come from that season was Maya and Zig finally getting together and the whole Hollingsworth storyline. If it wasn't for Miles, Frankie or Hunter, or Miles and his dad's storyline, season 14 for the Degrassi wouldn't have been shit. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. Just like the sophomores in this season, how they carried the season, they did exactly that in season 14. I didn't give a fuck about no senior storyline in season 14 for Degrassi at all. All the senior storylines were about Claire and that fucking god-awful of a teenage pregnancy storyline. That's what it was all about. So because of that, I really didn't give a fuck. Allie didn't get shit. Connie didn't get shit. None of the seniors got any storylines. And as far as I'm concerned, that seems to be a common thing when I watch Degrassi, especially when I watch the senior year for the classes. Other than like Ellie and them's class in season 5, like Marco had a good storyline, you know, everything with his dad when he finally came out to his dad in season 5, that was good. The whole Ellie and Craig storyline, that was good. Paige and Alex, that was good. You feel me? The season 5 class of seniors, they had good storylines. Emma, her class, they had shitty storylines. They had really bad storylines. Season 7, there was not one good storyline Emma's class had that I actually liked, other than what they did with them in the graduation episode with the whole Damon Liberty shit. That was it. That was literally it. That was the only thing that was it. And how come nobody ever called out Manny for being a hypocrite? If you're going to say, oh, it might just because Manny learned from experience. Okay, sure. But for Manny to get on Liberty's ass about how it's not right to go after someone who's in a relationship, shit, it takes one to know one. Shouldn't you be the wrong person to be preaching about any of that, especially when you did it twice? Girl, get the fuck out of here. Right message, wrong messenger. Point blank, period. But, who else? I don't remember Jane's senior class at all. Jane, seniors class, I don't remember it at all. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Jane was the only one I know who was graduating in season 8 or 9 of that show. So I don't really remember too much of her senior class. How did Jake's senior class? Boring as fuck. They didn't do. I don't give a fuck about any of the seniors' storylines in season 11 for the senior class. Season 12, I actually liked the seniors' storylines as far as with Bianca and Drew and Eli and all of that. I liked it, all of that. As far as, even though they were like the only seniors who really got storylines for real, I actually liked their storylines. Now, back to season 13. Me analyzing this. The reason why I really wanted to make this video because I really realized, like, whenever I go on TikTok or, you know, whatever it might be, I realized that season 13 for Degrassi does get a lot of shit. A lot of people say they kind of blame that season for a lot of things that happened in season 14. I'm going to say this. I actually enjoyed season 13 from start to finish. Was there some filler in between? Yes. Were there some things they did in this season that I didn't like? Absolutely. Absolutely. But there were more things they did that I liked than they did that I didn't like. You feel me? From the count of my fingers, some of the things I could say I didn't like, I would say this. Killing Adam off is definitely number one. Why do I have an issue with them killing Adam off? Simply because Adam is a character that did less and he really could have gotten more. I feel like Drew and Adam has the best sibling relationship on the show, no fucking question. Better than any sibling that's on the show, they're the best sibling duo. I feel like since the moment Adam came in, they kind of gave him the same storyline. I feel like with Adam, they were trying to play it safe, if that makes sense. Like, oh, they got a trans character, so we're going to play it safe. I feel like some storylines Adam shouldn't have gotten, he didn't, and I feel like he was robbed because of it. I feel like with Adam, now that I go back and sometimes I rewatch the show, I feel like, Adam was looking for acceptance and love, right? But I feel like sometimes they felt like, oh, if we put him in a relationship, he would feel better. No, seeing a female accept Adam for being trans of that nature, yes, that feels good because it doesn't matter to them that he was born a girl and now is a boy. You feel me? They understand he is trans, he is transitioning. You feel me? I feel like in season 10, okay, you did the 2 episodes with Adam, My Body is a Cage. But that's it. His character got nothing after those episodes. In season 10, he was with Fiona, he was enabling her drinking, and Fiona only liked him because he still had the women, Fiona only liked Adam because he didn't get the surgery. That makes sense. He still had the woman physicality as far as boobs of that nature. Even though he is trans, he didn't get the surgery. Like, he didn't get any of the boob surgery or that nature. So that is why Fiona liked him. And in season 11, I feel like they kind of redid that storyline all over again with the whole people not understanding that he is trans, with the whole Dave shit, and then Katie saying she didn't care he was trans, and then when Marisol was like, oh, you can't kiss Adam, and even if you want to have sex with him, you can't because he doesn't have the surgery, and all of a sudden she said it does bother him. And then in season 12, his storyline with Becky, I actually enjoyed that because I feel like the storyline with Becky, they should have done that in season 11, if that makes sense. They should have did that in season 11, and then they could have showed more of his relationship with Becky in season 12. I feel like Becky should have came in season 11. She should have came in season 11. They could have did that storyline with her and Adam in season 11, and their relationship could have been shown more in season 12. I feel like because Adam was robbed of character depth and development and all of those things of that nature, his relationship did not get the proper screen time that they should have gotten, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. So Adam's death from season 13 is definitely the number one thing on that list that I feel like, what the fuck were they doing? To this day, why the fuck did they get Claire? Why was Claire diagnosed with cancer? The whole Allie domestic abuse storyline. I am not a motherfucking fan. I don't give a fuck. I'm not a fan. Why am I not a fan? Simple, because it is. What the fuck was the point of putting Allie in a relationship she did not need to be in, and just a couple episodes after her situation with Leo, she ends up getting Dallas? That relationship with Leo was completely pointless. I don't have a problem with Degrassi displaying a domestic abuse relationship, because as far as I'm concerned, I feel like Rick and what is her name? I forgot her name, y'all, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Rick and the girl in season 3, they got the best domestic abuse storyline. I would say with Allie, her storyline was more darker. It was very dark, like very dark. But then at the same time, it's like with Allie, I feel like, again, her storylines are still being based around niggas. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was so confused when I watched it because it's like, why the fuck did her and Dave? Why the fuck did her and Dallas not work out? Like the season 12 when Jenna was like, "Oh, Ellie is sad because things between her and Dallas didn't work out." Why didn't they work out? She never said. He never said. Was it because he's a father? Was it because he had a kid? Like, what was it exactly that made her feel like she didn't want to be with Dallas? Yet she couldn't give Dallas a chance, but she could go to Paris and give this nigga she don't know a chance. Like, I don't get Allie's mindset. I don't get her mindset. I don't get her mentality. It don't make fucking sense half the time. To me personally, that whole storyline is fucking pointless. Point fucking less. What is the point of her being with this grown ass man? Just turn around and be with Dallas a few episodes after that. Her character should not be ready to date again after that traumatic experience. It don't make sense. She could have went to Paris and got clarity and try to figure out why is it that she's scared to give Dallas a chance. You feel me? And then she could have came back to Degrassi and her and Dallas could have worked on trying to be friends more before trying to be anything romantic. You feel me? Like, that just would have made more sense to me in my opinion. Instead, they didn't do that. They wanted to put Ellie in a relationship she did not need to be in, and that irritated me the fucking most. The build up to whole Drew and Becky shit, not a fan. I don't even have to say a lot. I don't like that at all. It's disgusting. It's just trash. It's nasty as fuck. The random build up to Miles and Tristan. What the fuck was that? Huh? Not a fan of that either. What else am I not a fan of this season? I like this storyline for drama purposes only, but if you ask me, this storyline is the reason for all the shittiness we got to see the first thing. The Drew and Claire shit that nobody asked for is the reason for all the bullshit in season 14. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Period. Everybody has their own input. Everybody has their own fucking side to the story on how they look at the storyline. Everybody say Claire was wrong. Everybody say Eli was wrong. Get the fuck out of here. Both Claire and Eli was wrong. How about that? Y'all play favorites and y'all pick sides and y'all cop and please when y'all want to. Y'all have double standards. Like, y'all say Eli can't be mad at Claire because he cheated. But how come nobody ever calls Claire out for emotionally cheating? Eli physically cheated. She emotionally did. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. She emotionally cheated. Why? Because when Eli kissed that girl, she admitted to Drew that when he kissed that girl, Lenora, everything's been different. Meaning she emotionally checked out with Eli in their relationship after everything happened. So come on, man. This is with that bullshit. And then another thing, fuck, it was just on top of my head. Just right there on top of my head. Another thing I didn't like. What was another thing I didn't like in season? The whole Drew and Zoe shit. I don't know who the fuck idea that was. I wasn't a fan of that at all. And the biggest, actually, scratch that. I said Adam's death was the biggest thing I didn't like about the season. No. The biggest thing I didn't like about season 13 is breaking up Drew and Bianca. Period. I'm going to forever be pissed, sad, all the emotions about that. I'm really fucking irritated and annoyed that they broke them up in season 13. Mad as fuck, and I'm forever going to be mad. But, you know, other than them little things, season 13 really wasn't a bad season for her. For the most part, I enjoyed everything. Except for that first half. That first half when it was in Paris was kind of boring and lame as fuck. I don't really care too much about that. But when they came back to school, that's when all the drama started. Like, I liked this Zoe. I thought Zoe was a great mean girl. You know, insecure, jealous. You know, she's always been homeschooled. So this is the first time she's coming around kids her age. She's known to be an actress from this show that Tristan and everybody else watch. You know, since the first day Zoe comes to the school, she already has like an issue with Maya. She's jealous of Maya. Tristan already showing he fake as fuck. The whole storyline with Maya and Miles definitely carried this entire season. We had the whole Maya Miles and Zig love triangle. Love that Zoe got sexually assaulted in this season. Like, we had the whole Miles and his whole dad storyline, his dad cheating, Miles knowing, all that shit, the whole campaign, all that shit was interesting. Like, to me personally, like I always said, the sophomores carried season 13, for real, for real. They came to not play, for real. Like, they really didn't come to play. Like, Degrassi was trying their hardest to make the seniors be the cream of the crop, but it just wasn't working because at that point, nobody gives a fuck about Claire, nobody gives a fuck about Ellie. They've been doing the same shit since they came in, motherfucker. Who cares about them? I did like Drew's character a lot in season 13. I've always loved Drew, but season 13 is when they started doing a lot of dumb shit. Like, why the fuck was he with Zoe? Number one. Why was he with Zoe? What they should have done with Drew, and I was going to say this, they should have given him a drug storyline. Instead, no, the guy said, we're not going to do that. We're going to make him sleep with Zoe for pills. So, how come nobody ever mentions that she pretty much, like, forced Drew to be with her due to the fact that she enabled him with drugs? Whatever. The whole Claire shit, him getting involved in that and everything she had going on with Eli, that was a big ass mistake. He should have stayed his ass far, far away from Claire. Anything she had going on with Eli. Somebody should have told him that him getting involved with anything she had going on with Eli was just gonna make him be involved in their bullshit for real. For like, I feel like Claire. I feel like instead of trying to really dig down deep and try to see what it was that was going on in her and Eli's relationship that was making them be really distant, you know, besides the long relationship and besides him kissing another girl, what else was it that was making them feel like what was it? You feel me? And I just feel like that she thought leaning onto Drew would make her feel better, but I feel like she was just trying to run away from the real problem, in my opinion. Like, I feel like she really used Drew, but everybody's so quick to say he used her. No, Claire used Drew because instead of telling Eli when he was right there, the day when he was really in town still, when he had, you know, was continuing telling her about the day he kissed the girl, she could have told Eli she just wasn't happy anymore. That him being there, her being here, their lives is like being pulled in two different directions. She's thinking about college, she's thinking about graduation. He's already in college, she's thinking of bigger things. I think Claire and Eli should have been broke up, but I think Claire felt like she would have felt awful if she would have broke up with Eli after he just stood by her side the entire time through her chemo. But Eli did cheat. You feel me? But the reason why I can respect Eli though is the fact that right after it happened with him and the girl and Nora, he literally booked a flight to came down to tell Claire what happened. He didn't waste any time. He strictly told her that, yes, I did kiss a girl. I did. And he told her anything after that. He didn't keep it a secret. It was something he kept like a secret for like a year or whatever the case may be. You know, he actually told her. My thing is with Claire is that she should have her cake and eat it too. She was still in love with Eli, still attached to him, but she wanted to have fun and fuck around with Drew, even if it means no feelings involved. Her and Drew didn't have anything emotionally. It was just physical. But I do feel like, to me as a viewer, I feel like they had nothing but just I feel like that it was nothing between them emotionally but sex, for real, for real. But obviously Claire was, you know, connecting with Drew emotionally. If she could on this motherfucking couch and basically say she can see herself being with him, She done already emotionally checked herself out of her relationship with Eli the day he told her they cheated. Anything that happened after that, she was with Eli. But she was already checking out of the relationship. Like, she already felt like they was distant because whenever they would make plans, he could not make them. But it's like, Claire, you already knew long distance was going to be hard. And after that, he's in college. He can't drop every fucking thing because you planned something. You already knew that was going to be impossible when he went to college. If you like you could not handle the long distance, and if you don't believe in a long distance relationship, why the fuck are you still with him? Why did you take him back? You could have said, no, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. Let's try to figure out what we can do once I graduate high school and you're done with your first semester of your 1 year of college. We could talk about this over the summer. And when I finish my last year of high school, then we could talk. You feel me? Like, at that point, they can already set a date. But it's the fact that she still stayed with Eli, knowing she was not there emotionally. She was trying to fuck on Drew, and then get mad at Drew when he said he don't want to be her side bitch. Like, I'm confused. I don't understand y'all logic, and then y'all play double standard bullshit. Talk about he used her. Claire talked about he used her for sex. There was no using. You and him wanted to have sex with each other. But when he told you he didn't want to be your rebound, are you going around saying he used you for sex? Girl, what the fuck are you saying? You sound dumb. You sound silly dilly. You a silly ass clown, bitch. You sound stupid. But my thing is that why is everybody acting like Drew wasn't right? Because what did she do at the end of the season? She ended up going to New York. Her and Eli have a conversation at the end of the episode. He told Claire that he's not ready to let her go, and he won't ever be ready to let her go. He loves her, and he want to be with her. And he want to know what her answer is. Does she actually want to work on it and see if they can do it for real this time, or does she just want to call it quits? You feel me? Like, he even asked her, like, did anything further go on between her and Drew, and she was like, no, like, we just had sex that one time, and nothing ever happened after that. And when she came back, she got news that she was pregnant. So she didn't already have plans on still being with Eli, so I'm confused. Like, y'all try to explain it to me. Her and Drew had sex. Drew didn't want to be her side bitch. But she didn't already have plans to go back to Eli, so what the fuck are we talking about? Like, y'all sound dumb as fuck. The ones who try to defend this logic, y'all just sound dumb and silly as fuck because there's nothing to defend because Claire is in the wrong, period. And I definitely feel like Maya was in the wrong for never chin-checking Zig on staying in his... there he go again, just swerving up out of his lane. Zig swerved out of his lane way too many times in Degrassi season 13, especially when it came to Maya and Miles' relationship. Like, Maya was wrong as fuck for constantly letting Zig off the hook, but getting on Miles' ass for how he would react. Anybody who would react the way Miles would, probably not putting the gun to somebody here, a fake gun at that. But as far as, like, feeling jealous or feeling threatened that this guy who kissed you one time and think just because he liked you the longest think he's entitled to you, of course I gotta let this nigga know that Maya can date whoever the fuck she wanna date. Just because you have feelings for her don't mean you're entitled to shit, and doesn't mean she can't date other people. That's really the mindset I feel like Zig had when I rewatched this season. And I feel like he would cop and please. I feel like if Maya wasn't dating Miles, he was nice to her, and if she was with Miles, he was a fucking asshole. I didn't like that. He was too wishy-washy and moody as fuck. And at the end of the day, Maya did way too much for him in season 13 for him to sit there and try to be rude and disrespectful to her. Like, nigga, I got your ass place to live, food in your stomach. You got bed sheets, a bed to lay on. Motherfucker, if it weren't for me, your ass would still be out there in them houses squatting. Homeless as fuck. We're not going to do that. So I definitely feel like Zig felt like he was entitled to Maya. Like, oh, like, kind of like what he said about Zoe. Like, when he said to Zoe, like, oh, I told her I would wait for her I would wait for her until she's ready. First of all, that's pick me shit. I don't give a fuck. Zig is definitely a pick me. Zig could have been with any other girl. Okay, Zig could have tried to date other people. Even if he felt like it didn't matter who he was with or who he might have dated, he was still going to be in love with Maya. Okay, cool, that's fine. But at the end of the day, to feel like, oh, because you liked her first, that makes you feel like you're entitled to have her. Maya is a human. She's not the last piece of anything or whatever the case may be, the last bag of chips in the box. She's not any of that. If she wants to be with Miles, she can be with him. And as far as I'm concerned, Maya and Miles' relationship, it wasn't her best relationship. If anything, I felt like that relationship with Miles was not the best for Maya, because I felt like Miles was very impulsive, and I felt like he had a lot of home shit going on. Like, Miles had daddy issues, and I feel like nobody ever talks about that because they think guys can't have them, but they can. Miles had daddy issues. He was always trying to get the love and acceptance of his father, and I feel like when he didn't get it, it would make him act out and become rebellious, whether it was like on parties or, you know, acting out in family interviews or skipping class or smoking weed, whatever it might be, because of the daddy issue and the home life he was having, made him go. It made him act the way he acted in his relationship with Maya, which I feel like was a major red flag in my opinion. I think Maya being with Miles was really not the best relationship for her. I understood that she cared for Miles and that she knew that his home life was something that was taking a toll on him, so she was afraid of something, he would do something to hurt himself, which I'm not mad at her for having that type of mindset. But I feel like Maya was definitely wrong for never chin-checking Zig. Like, let him know that I'm with Miles, I'm not with you. You need to learn how to stop swerving the fuck out of your lane. You need to learn how to keep your mouth shut when no one's talking to you. What makes you think you have any type of opinion? Me and you're not in a relationship, so I don't have to listen to your opinion. You feel me? As far as I'm concerned, the Maya and Miles relationship was definitely one of the best things about this season, hands down. I was always intrigued whenever it came to their relationship. Whether it was a breakup or argument, whatever it might be, I was intrigued. Like, they was constantly breaking up. Maya and Miles spent more time apart than they ever did as a relationship. It was constantly breaking up, and it was always some petty shit why they would break up. You feel me? I liked Zoe's sexual storyline a lot. I thought her sexual storyline was very dark, and I liked that even after she went through that trauma, it didn't make her into a nicer person or whatever. It made her more of a bitch. Like, she became even more bitchy, especially in season 14. So, yeah, season 13 isn't really that bad of a season for real life. Everybody would say, oh, it was too cartoony, or that Nick was doing something to it that they didn't like. Me personally, I like season 13 a lot. For real. I like it way more than season 14. I'll tell you that for damn sure. I'm not going to make a video on why I can't stand season 14 or do an analyzing video. I already made a list of reasons why season 14 sucks. So if you have listened to that, please go listen to it, because I explain very, 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 very reasonable points on why that season is trash and why it's not good. But that's all we got to say about season 13. I'm giving this season a 10 out of 10 for real, because I actually enjoyed it a lot. But other than that, I do have some updates to tell you guys. So again, like I told you, I am going to be talking about Soul Drama All Stars. I am rewatching Soul Drama Action right now. I am watching Ben 10 as well, so I'm done with all of that. Done with all 3 series of the show. We're just going to talk about Ben 10 in one big ass video. We're just going to do that. I'm watching BoJack Horseman 2. I heard that this show is really good. I actually like it so far. You know, people say it got dark storylines and things of that nature, and we're going to talk about that too once I'm done watching all 6 seasons of the show. Someone's turned pretty. I think tomorrow, once I watch the episode with my sister, I'm going to talk about episodes 1 and 2 and 3 on one big ass video, because I don't want to talk about episodes 1, 2, and 3 once I make my video about the whole entire season. I did want to talk about episodes 1 and 2, and I know I'm late as fuck. So what I'm going to do is that tomorrow, while my sister is at work, I'm going to rewatch episodes 1 and 2 to make sure I have all my information and make sure I know what the fuck I want to talk about when I make my video. And then when me and my sister watch episode 3 together, I'll talk about episodes 1 and 2 and how happy that my show is back, what I liked and what I didn't like, and I'll do the same thing for episode 3. So those are all my updates. So please, tomorrow be ready when I make my video. You feel me? As far as I'm concerned, it is nice talking to y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next video.